Hi and welcome to Movement with Melanie. I'm Melanie Gilbert, certified personal trainer here at Fountaingate Gardens Life Plan Community. Today we are in our Clubhouse Pub and our exercises are going to focus on full body today. Since we're in the pub, I wanted to remind you all to make sure you stay hydrated, especially after these exercises, because it's really great for muscle recovery. So let's get started. So we're going to start with a warm-up today. First, we're going to do arm circles. So we're going to bring our arms out to the side. We're going to do 30 seconds total. We'll do halfway forwards and halfway back. Starting forwards, we're going 30 seconds total. All right, so really just warming up the arms, warming up the shoulders specifically here. All right, make sure you're breathing through the warm-up as well. Halfway, we're going to reverse. In 3, 2, 1, and reverse. Good. Bringing those shoulders down and back here. Good. And 3, 2, 1, and relax. Our second warm-up that we're going to do butt kicks. All right, so what that looks like, you're going to bring your heel to your butt and then switch sides. Okay, so we're going to do 30 seconds of butt kicks. All right, up. Good. This is really warming up those hamstrings, warming up the glutes as well as the quads, so the front of the upper leg. You might recognize these as an exercise that we did in a previous video. So same thing, we're just moving a little bit quicker here. Just warming up those muscles. Good. We've got about 5 seconds left here. In 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. So we're going to get started with our exercises. Today we're going to be using what we call a resistance band. So it's similar to a rubber band. It gives you resistance in each of your exercises. So it makes it a little bit more challenging. So similar to weights, it makes it a little bit harder to go against gravity. All right. So we're going to start by putting the band underneath of our feet for our first exercise. What we're going to do, we're going to put our feet about hip width to shoulder width apart. And we're going to find a good resistance here to where we can press above our head. So it should be pretty challenging when we press above our head. You'll feel that in your shoulders as you press. Okay, the first exercise we're doing is called a thruster. We're going to start with our elbows underneath of our wrists and our hands out in front of us into fists here. Okay, we're going to go into a slight squat here, and then from here, we're going to press all the way up to the ceiling. Okay, so again, we're bringing that down. Those hips are coming back. We're squeezing that core. The knees are not coming forward. Pushing back here and then pushing all the way above our head. We're going to do 10 repetitions. Okay, here we go. Starting down, all the way up. Good, that's 1, 2. Good, so as you go through this exercise, you'll feel this in your glutes. You'll feel it in your hamstrings as you press down and back. And as you press above your head, you're going to feel that in your shoulders, but you'll also feel it in your back. Okay, you're going to feel it in your upper back as you press above your head. Good. Make sure you're breathing. And you're always going to exhale on the harder part. So as you're pushing against gravity. Good. This is 9. Good. We've got 1 more. And 10. Good. All right. The second exercise we're going to do, we're going to bring the band underneath one of our feet. Okay, so we're going to bring it across our body for this exercise. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a side lunge to an arm raise. So you're going to grab onto both of those sides of the bands, and you're going to get a good resistance for you to pull all the way up to this side angle here. Okay, so you're going to start on the opposite hip that your hand is holding, and then you're going to go into a lunge, so into a side lunge. Same thing with these side lunges. You want to push those hips back. And you don't want to push your knees forward, okay? So we're going to come up to standing. Those feet are in a wide stance here, so a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Hand is at that opposite hip. We go into that lunge, lift that hand above our head, and come all the way back down. That's the straight arm the entire time. We've got 10 on each side, so let's get started. 1. Good. And remember, we're exhaling on the hard part. Good. As you do this, you're going to feel that on the side of the body here. So it's a big muscle group that we're working. So that's the upper back, kind of mid back. It's called your latissimus dorsi. Good. And we've got 2 more from here. Sorry, this is 1 more. That was the 10th one there. Good. All right. Switching it to the other side, we've got 10 on the opposite side here. All right, so get that nice wide stance. We're grabbing with our opposite hand now, bringing it to the opposite hip. And we're going to pull it all the way up. Find that good resistance. Going into that lunge there, coming all the way back down. Good. That was 1 and 2. Good. Remember to brace that core always. Even through these exercises that don't feel like a core exercise, you're always going to pull that navel to the spine. Protect that low back. Good. Good. That's 7. We've got 3 more. And 2. Last one. Very good. All right, our last exercise. We're going to keep that resistance band under 1 foot at a time. What we're going to do now, we're going to go into a forward lunge. So we're stepping that foot all the way forward and bringing that back foot heel down to the ground if we can, okay? From here, finding a good resistance with both of those arms, we're going to go into a lunge. We're just going to bring it up to a tabletop position here. Okay, so we're holding that lunge the entire time we go through this, and we've got 10 reps. So we'll start with our hands down by our side, and then we'll lift it up here. Good, that's 1. Good, as you're in this position, you wanna make sure you're stabilizing the core. We're not moving that upper body. The only thing that should be moving are those arms coming up and down. So coming up to tabletop, controlling it on the way down. So with these resistance bands, you want to pull those arms down because they're going downwards, but your arms are going up. You want to control it as those arms come back down. Good. Exhaling on that hard part. Good. We've got 2 more. This is 9. Last one and 10. Good. Switching sides, making sure that everything is even. Keeping that same resistance that you had in the first arm. Going into that lunge, keeping that upper body upright. And we're doing 10 and up. 2. Good. Remember, we're pulling that navel to the spine, really stabilizing that core. Good. By the last few reps, it should feel pretty challenging. Okay, so by that 10th rep, your muscles might be shaking a little bit, and that's okay. That's what we want. Good. This is 9. We've got 1 more. And 10. Very good. Step out of that resistance band. And good. Before we cool down, I just want to mention that if you don't have a resistance band, you can use your body weight, so doing the exercise without any resistance at all, or you can add some weight, whether that be dumbbells, you can use soup cans, water bottles, whatever you can find. All right, so let's get into our cool down. We're going to start with a seated hamstring stretch. So we're going to extend one of our legs out fully. Flexing that toe back, we're going to sit up nice and tall. Then we're going to hinge at the waist. From here, you're going to hold this stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds. We're going to hold it for 20 seconds here. So as you stretch, make sure you're breathing through. Okay, so breathing through the stretch. Feel the back of the hamstring, back of the upper leg, as well as the calf stretching out here. The more we flex that toe back, the more you'll get that calf stretch. And then the more we lean forward, the more you'll feel it in the hamstring. Good. Switching sides. Extend that opposite leg, sitting up tall, hinging at the waist. And then breathe. Good. You want to make sure we're pulling those shoulders back, so don't let those shoulders hunch forward. About halfway there. Good. In 3, 2, 1, and relax. The second cool down that we have is a torso rotation. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, keeping the hips and the knees parallel. We're going to keep that to the front. And we're just going to rotate from the torso up, pulling that shoulder back. Then you're going to continue that gaze all the way over the shoulder. We're going to hold it for 20 seconds. Good, so you should really feel this in the spine here. You'll feel it all in the torso and those obliques. We're still pulling those shoulders down and back. Good, in 3, 2, 1, and we'll switch sides here. Good, rotating to the other side, again keeping those knees parallel, and then continuing that gaze over the shoulder, holding for 20 seconds. Good, make sure we're pulling those shoulders back. Your breathing might feel a little pinched off here, but that's okay. In 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. The last stretch that we have for you today, we're gonna do a sit and reach. So you're gonna sit up tall to start. We're bringing those hands together, grabbing our hands together, rotating those palms out, and then really reaching here. We're gonna relax that head between the shoulders. You should feel this in the spine, kind of decompressing the spine a little bit. And breathe. Good. Holding this for 20 to 30 seconds. Today we'll hold it for 20 seconds. 5 to go. And 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Thank you for joining me again today at Fountaingate Gardens for Movement with Melanie, where we help our members live the best of their lives. See you next time.